everyone, my name is Caitlin Nickerson and I decided to try a new kind of video. I am explaining Hamilton, the musical, in about 15 minutes or less. I know I wrote down 5 minutes, but Hamilton is over 2 hours long and it's kind of hard to explain in about 5 minutes. This will be a 2-part video, so this is only Act 1. This is for anyone who is confused by Hamilton or wants to just learn more. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy that. Also, my drawings are really bad, and let's go on with the video.
They placed him in charge of a trading charter.
And every day while slaves were being
The play starts off with this big guy right here by the name of Alexander Hamilton. And basically he lived on the island Nevis in the Caribbean. He had a family, a mother, a son, or a brother, and a father, but his family was not perfect. His father ended up leaving them at a very, very young age to go to America. By age 10, Hamilton and his mother got sick, and his mother ended up not coming out alive. By age 14, he kind of had to live by himself, so he decided to sell really anything he could, rum, sugarcane, and then all of a sudden a hurricane came and struck Nevis. It was a giant disaster, a mess, and so he decided to go and write a letter to his father explaining the whole mess. And so somebody ended up getting a hold of the letter and published it in the Royal Danish American Gazette, and it went viral basically. They were all like, this kid is amazing, he's awesome for such a young age. So they ended up saving up a lot of money and brought him to America. And this is when trouble starts. He meets Aaron Burr, or well, the beginning of his story. Aaron Burr was a wealthy kid. His father and mother owned Princeton College. They were the president, and Hamilton was basically like, I want to go to Princeton. And Aaron Burr was like, okay, so he ended up going to King's College. They both were really good leaders and very essential to the American Revolution. They both had common interests, like always wanting to be the best, but they both had differences, and you'll see later. Then we meet some more characters, such as John Lawrence, who's all for equal rights. Then we have Lafayette, who is it's French. And basically, he wants the French Revolution to leave, and he wants an equal government. He wants everything to be better. Then we have Hercules Mulligan, who's a tailor, and basically, they all were very essential to the American Revolution. Also, without them, we wouldn't have America here. Hashtag Camel Squad. Then we fast forward to my shot. And basically, this is where they all share roles, and we basically get the first glimpse of the differences between Aaron Burr and Hamilton. Basically, Aaron Burr, you can see, is kind of very close opinionated. He always keeps his opinions to himself. And Hamilton is over here, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I think it is. This is the only right choice. He's very opinionated. Then we kind of fast forward to the Schuyler sisters. Here we meet Angelica Schuyler, Eliza Schuyler, and Peggy Schuyler. Basically, the Schuyler sisters is basically supposed to be the Broadway type of song in Hamilton. The classic Broadway song. And I think that this song is really important. It shows the culture during this time, such as Thomas Paine, Common Sense, the Declaration of Independence. It even shows their status when they encounter Aaron Burr and they have a casual conversation with them. They believe in equal rights, feminism, and the song is just overall empowerment and really important. Work.
Let's have another round tonight.
Let's have another round tonight.
Now we fast forward to You'll Be Back. Now this is, as Lin-Manuel Miranda calls it, a breakup song between Britain and America. It's basically a recap of what's happening right now, or currently in the play, such as King George asking, what is happening, you'll be back. Basically, you are not going to leave forever, basically. Like, you can't stay away. It's basically a recap of the war so far, basically summed up. Then we have Right Hand Man, which is a really long song, but basically summarized, George Washington is asking help to Hamilton, asking if he could be his right hand man or Secretary of Treasury. And Hamilton is like, I don't want to write, but George Washington's like, you're a really good writer and no one else is hiring you. So Hamilton's like, fine. Really, he wants to write. Now we get to Helpless. Basically, we find Eliza Schuyler back again, and she falls in love with Hamilton. Love at first sight. Basically, they write letters to each other on and off, basically all the time. And then Hamilton proposes to Eliza, and they get happily married. While meanwhile, Angelica is still pining over Hamilton. And now we get to Wait For It. Wait For It is actually one of those underestimated songs. It shows yet again the contrast between Burr and Hamilton. Aaron Burr's girlfriend being married to a British officer and his family all being dead. He just wants to wait for it. Now, Stay Alive is a really important song too. George Washington is like, you can't fight, and Hamilton's like, I want to, and he's like, you have to write. He ends up giving the command for the Battle of Monmouth to Charles Lee. Charles Lee ends up messing up big time, and so he ends up going to a duel against John Lawrence, while John Lawrence shot him in his side. So, of course, Hamilton got in trouble for setting up the duel. George Washington sent him home, and he went home to his lovely wife, Eliza, where Eliza told him that she is pregnant. Yay, a boy. And basically, she sent him home so that he could be alive and help raise her son. Hamilton got mad, but he loved her, so they stayed. This song shows Eliza's love for Hamilton and anything she could do, which later shows problems in Act 2. So basically, Lafayette is rapping Guns and Ships. He's basically talking about how he got everything from, they're basically set for Battle of Yorktown, the last battle. There's something missing, and that is Hamilton. So they write him a letter basically like, help, we need you. Hamilton is like, yes, I get to fight. George Washington gives the command for Battle of Monmouth to Alexander Hamilton, and basically they win. America wins. It's the last battle. Hamilton is the star, and they win. Go America. Basically now we're at Dear Theodosia. Burr ends up marrying Theodosia, his previous girlfriend. He ends up having a daughter named after her, Theodosia, and Hamilton ends up having a son named Philip, named after Eliza's dad. They soon come up to a secret song that's only in the musical, not in the soundtrack, where Eliza gets a letter from John Lawrence's dad explaining that John Lawrence died while retreating. And so Hamilton is like, I need to get to work. He ends up becoming a lawyer, and so does Aaron Burr. They basically go head to head, and everything just kind of happens. Angelica goes back to London with her husband while she's still in love. Eliza loves Hamilton. We don't know where Peggy is. And then George Washington asks Alexander Hamilton to become Secretary of Treasury. Hamilton says, yes, please. They go to the Constitutional Convention, and James Madison, John Jay, and Alexander Hamilton end up fighting for the Constitution in the Federalist Papers. John Jay wrote 5, James Madison wrote 29, and Hamilton wrote the other 51. And Hamilton wins, basically, in the end. Then, that's the end of Act 2. You'll be back.
Common Sense by Thomas Paine. So men say that I'm intense or I'm insane. You want a revolution, I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration. We hold these truths to